Welcome everyone to the L7C podcast Dragon Ball edition. Today we are back with Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 93, continuing the retelling of Dragon Ball Super Hero and looking for any differences between the manga and the movie. We have the Dragon Ball expert, Mr. Mitch Oso, with us. How are you doing today, sir?
Struggling, man. Still recovering from the L7C draft. Just pretty intense. Everyone took some of my picks I wanted, but that'd be how a draft works. So
Yep, it is. At the time of recording this and when this is out, the L7C draft concluded already this week. We did that live to celebrate some stuff. 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, 6,000 listens, podcast listens. So it's on the L7C YouTube. Just go there, go to the anime draft. It's right there. There's also some clips that have been made if you want to see who the number one overall pick was. If you go to the social media sites, you can see there's a picture of everyone's first round pick. There's a picture of everyone's teams. And yeah, it was really fun. It was very entertaining. We'll just already give you spoilers on, obviously, the Dragon Ball expert had to go Dragon Ball first round, and he got Son Goku as the number 3 overall pick.
yep, I had to go. I thought my list of protagonists was shorter than my list of antagonists.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah, I felt like I needed to go for the best protagonist on the list there first, but nope, I was surprised. A lot of you guys took antagonists first, and I'm like, maybe I didn't think of it correctly, but I'm proud of my team. Mm.
Yeah. And everyone was really excited, had a great time with that, and probably going to be the anime podcast throughout the summer, just involving these drafts and see who has a better show and who has a better team and whatnot.
Which is me. Yeah,
Wait, we will see. I will say for my thing, all of my first picks of rivals were all taken, so I had to go to my second tier of rivals, which I was fine with. But
yeah.
I mean, Vegeta was gone, Kaiba's gone, Hiei, Bakugo, so I was just like, all right, it is what it is. But it was a great time. Make sure you definitely go listen to that. A lot of great laughs with everyone. But we are back, Mitch, with the retelling of Dragon Ball Super Hero, and we are looking for any differences in that. And this starts off
With actually a retelling of Broly. Funny enough.
which there was a lot of fans have a problem with this, and I don't disagree. I don't know why we got a better retelling of Broly in the superhero movie than we did when it actually happened in the manga. What were your thoughts?
Hold on. I'll be honest with you, with the chapter coming out today as the recording, I haven't really seen what everyone's reaction is. What are people having problems with?
That this one, why is this retelling in the Dragon Ball superhero retelling? So why is a retelling in a retelling? And why is this retelling more detailed than the thing they gave after the Broly movie? Because like when they went from Tournament of Power to Moro, the Broly retelling was only like 2 pages. And it was like showing there wasn't even a retelling. It was like, oh, Goku and Vegeta fought Broly. Go watch the movie. This was more detailed, and it's like, why are you doing this now?
Well, I mean, it has five pages here. I mean, I'm trying to think of like the retelling of like, Resurrection F, which I don't think Resurrection F had a retelling
Mm-mm.
even in the manga. Now, like Beerus's like arc, it actually got like, a couple chapters. Now remember the chapters back then were like 13 pages long and not 46. So that could be kind of viewed a little differently. But I whenever I was reading this, I'm like, why are we even bothering with this? So that's the part I agree with the community. Like
Mm-hmm.
we already gave Broly like the acknowledgement that he exists in this universe at the beginning of the Moro arc,
Yep.
when they were talking with Miras before they stopped the train robbery and all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
because that's when they mentioned Broly. So they already established him. And I mean, I'm kind of just a little bit surprised that they even put anything in here because like we all saw the movie. Like
Yes.
if you're this far into this, franchise of where you're reading the manga for Super, like you've already seen the anime and you've watched the movies. There's like there was no point in wasting these 5 pages. But I mean, it's about time, I guess. You should have did that years ago before Moro, but it's kind of weird that they're just trying to catch us up on shit that we already know,
Yeah.
like from a movie that came out 5 years ago.
Yeah, I really felt like that was just them using to eat up pages. It made no sense. But they do
I mean,
that.
I will say it's nice to see that movie on paper though.
Mm,
Like it was cool seeing like Gogeta there, like on page like 5.
yeah.
I mean, and Broly's rage mode per se, his legendary transformation was pretty cool. So I mean, always fortunate that 95% of the time the illustrations look great
Mhm.
nowadays. Well, at least with the manga,
I
but yeah.
just I felt like they also did that because they didn't know what to show for a longer sparring session with Goku and Broly. Because like once after the retelling, you go to the part where like, oh, Goku was like, oh, please stop, you're about to go crazy. I'm like, so that was it.
Hmm.
I was just like, okay, but that said, I know this is the part we talked about last month that we were very interested to see what was going to be said, and the Vegeta meditating
And
scene,
Goku's comments.
which was different than the movie.
Um, yeah, definitely more, how do I want to say, like aware.
Mhm.
Like that might be the best way to actually try to comprehend what they put on paper this go around because as we all know in the movie, Goku being completely oblivious to what meditation does, even though he's meditated on numerous occasions before. Now he actually understands that, meditation was great. He was just surprised that Vegeta was doing it. So eh, do I say kudos for fixing it, or do I sit here and just bitch that like how like your mistake is not like one of the deadly sins of writing, but it's like, come on, man. Know the history of what you wrote.
Yeah, I mean, stuff completely different from the movie is when Goku was talking to Vegeta on that rock in the movie. He was talking about how, well, yeah, he says rusty here, but you're gonna get soft doing that because you know what's out there. People like Jiren, like Broly, like the gods of destruction. That's completely out. He does not say anything of that. And the difference here is Vegeta mentioning all the events. Jiren, Broly, Moro, Gas, and now Frieza, like how all these people surpass him at that point in time in the recent years. Like he's highlighting basically all of Dragon Ball Super. That is completely new, and that was not in the movie.
I think that goes back to probably during the movie
Mhm.
when they were creating it. Like the Tournament of Power was probably the only thing that they had to go off of because, as we might discuss here, they didn't have shit. They don't have shit planned out maybe more than 6 months.
Mhm.
I really ponder how much do they know already as to what they're going to put in a manga chapter. Because I mean, just like you said, we got Moro and Gas that was manga exclusive enemies, but in the movie it was all about Jiren. And I love my boy Jiren. And it was hilarious in that movie whenever all they mentioned was Jiren and they ignored Moro and Gas. So now I'm glad that they mentioned Jiren in the same boat as Moro and Gas because I think that helps my Jiren argument a little bit because like they're all in the same tier, but on the flip side, it also hurts my Jiren argument because I was able to try and say that he was in a tier above these people. So apparently they're all in the same boat. So
Yeah, and then even on the Jiren thing, like also in the manga, Vegeta doesn't even single him out like he does in like in the movie. He's like, Jiren, he was a strong fighter, but he wasn't like in terms of power that much stronger than you and I. It was the way he used it. He didn't say that about Jiren. He said that about everyone in general, like just a general thing that they need to get better at.
that's the thing. Like I don't know if I truly believe that everyone else. Okay, Jiren and Frieza have shown that like they have meditated to become stronger. I mean, I forget if the manga did it, but you remember in the anime, Frieza did whenever he was sitting in hell.
Mm-hmm.
He explained to Goku that, he ran through simulations in his brain. So like he sat there and meditated and got stronger that way. I just Moro and Gas, I'm just not convinced of that. I mean, they were just shown to be stronger. I mean, why not mention Granola? I mean, like, I don't know.
Yeah, he didn't get mentioned, and then Whis comes down, same thing. It's like, oh, Vegeta, you're right, yada yada yada. I'm glad you got to this on your own.
Here's the thing, though, is that if you take it for face, I like Vegeta's logic that he says, "Hey, we've reached the max of our power here." Like, because that's true. That's basically what we say. Like these guys just keep training, training, fighting, 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 and then they just get stomped by every villain that comes by. It's like
Yeah.
they're not. There's no Zenkai boost anymore. They're at their max peak. Okay, great. And they need to now focus on their mind. And as Vegeta describes, we need to be relaxed and then use our power. Like precisely and from our relaxed state. And all I do is sit there and I'm like, yes, but isn't that what Ultra Instinct was supposed to be? Like, what is it? So Vegeta's now going for Ultra Instinct,
No,
or
good
is he
point.
going to do Ultra Ego? Because what he's describing, I don't think goes with Ultra Ego. So, I mean, in Ultra Ego, all he did was just damage his body, get stronger, and then try to obliterate people. It's not really the relaxed method that he's describing here. So, is Ultra Ego, is that retired now? Are we done with that transformation? Is this Heroes now? Whenever we get all the cool transformations for a single episode and never see them again? Out.
I don't know if it's retired, and I agree that sometimes it sounds like the Ultra Instinct principles. For me, it kind of sounds like going all the way back to Cell games of like maximizing the Super Saiyan, like the Super Saiyan's power, like getting to that full power Super Saiyan state and not wasting energy. And
Mm-hmm.
like that's how it sounds like to me. Like they have to get back to like
The base.
relearning the basics of like that stuff because since they've gotten all these god forms, like they haven't just Goku. I don't think I've seen like Goku can't just walk around as a Super Saiyan Blue because he hasn't mastered it, which may be another reason why it keeps getting stomped. He hasn't mastered it to an extent like where he was able to be a Super Saiyan for 10 days straight with minimum key drain and then go right into the Cell games and put on a show.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like that's what I kind of, but I'm like, then why are we revisiting this from the Cell saga? Because we've already done this. And how could you forget that? Because that was you weren't able to become a Super Saiyan 2 unless you were able to master the full things of a Super Saiyan 1.
Yep.
So, because
Correct.
it's almost the same exact thing that Goku was telling Gohan in the time chamber. We need the Super Saiyan's power, but we don't need it to be like a super strain on us. We need it to be a like it has to be normal. And like we just told Goku, like you said, Ultra Instinct, it should not be a transformation. It should be normal. You need to
Yep.
get to a point where it's normal. But probably the same thing with Ultra Ultra Ego. But you go from there. They're gonna get ready to set up for the fight. And it's almost this is the same thing where Beerus has the cutie line to Chile, and then they start getting ready, and Goku's gonna go eat. That's pretty much the same.
Right.
So go to Earth. Piccolo goes to Dende, asking him about getting his potential unlocked, and then Dende says he can't do it now until he's older, which I was like, all right, I feel like that's just a cop out to use the dragon because I was like, Dende's grown quite a bit from when he like was first on because you would assume like how much you think older he is. I know Namekians are a different age, but like perspective wise, he was a kid the same time Gohan was a kid, and Gohan's an adult.
I'm trying to think, like, I mean, he's grown a lot from whenever he first became the Guardian
Mhm.
during the Cell Saga. I mean, he was still, short little run, and then he was in his, teenage 20-year-old like height
Mhm.
during the Boo Saga, and now we're close to 10 years. So, I mean, at least in terms of, oh, sorry, my phone just, gosh, gosh damn, Chuck. Anyways, listen to the L7C MMA podcast next time. So, Dende's like 30, like 30 or 40. But I guess on the flip side, though, like, how old was Guru
Yeah, he was.
life? So, well, I'll look at that here real quick because, I mean, he's probably obviously like a few hundred years old because, the Sands, the Namekians were almost wiped out or whatever and whatnot. But
No, that makes sense. But he goes there, and Dende tells him that he can't, but Shenron can with his upgrade and like collecting. Do I have the time to gather them? Though, and Bulma's had all seven in hand. She's been using them ample resources to collect them for years now, and I'm just like, all right. I didn't know how Piccolo wouldn't know that about the Dragon Raider and all that stuff, and gathers them up. So he calls Bulma, says it's important, then he's on his way. And then this is a spot where we talked about last month. Yajirobe throwing his helmet at Piccolo, saying he forgot. He says thanks, but it's like, I mean, do your job and make some sensu beans, man.
yes, seriously, stop playing housemaid and focusing on Piccolo getting his helmet, but still
Um,
no sense of beans.
you go to
Blows
the
my mind. They sit up there and they don't do a damn thing.
terrible. You go to the
And
next
and
page.
and they have a catastrophe every single year or 2 years. Like you need to know that shit hits the fan all the time in this universe.
Yep.
For the past 20 years,
Hmm.
shit has hit the fan. Ever since Raditz came or Vegeta came and Vegeta talked about blowing up the planet. Like, just,
Shoot, even
bro,
back. I mean, even before Radix, Evil King Piccolo,
yeah, just
and
like I
then go ahead.
that whole pot should be filled with senzu beans.
It should be at all times, but it is not. That's so stupid, and no one can tell us. It makes no sense. Like that's literally their
On the
job. They don't train anyone. Korin doesn't. Who's the last time no one's gotten a Korin for training? Like you're literally there for sensu beans. Like why do you not have them?
on the flip side, it is like the problem with this whole franchise is that there's a lot of like cop outs, like senzu beans, a little tiny bean that will take you almost from death to 100%. Like, so there's already something that can heal you immediately right after a major fight. There's the Dragon Balls. Death doesn't mean anything. So it's like they dug themselves into a hole when they first made the series, but like this is what we want. We don't like in a perfect franchise, you wouldn't want the senzu beans to be in supply because it takes away from the stakes, you know. But on the flip side, we have seen pots and pots and pots of senzu beans, like, and you wonder where the hell are they? It's like it just defies logic, but
Makes
it,
no damn sense. Like zero. And then next page, you have
And
Goku.
all they have to do is just say like, um, I don't know, senzu beans are not incredibly difficult, but you gotta give it a reason, like we they get killed easier nowadays. Like, they don't grow as efficiently as they did in the past. You just have to give an explanation, but they won't. But
And,
they will explain Broly again unnecessarily. But
yeah. And then next page, you have Goku being an idiot asking a fish if he wants to eat fish food. That
I don't
makes
know.
no
It's
sense.
kind. That's kind of just Goku's.
I
Just
know it's funny, but it's just
it
like
fits him. It's
really,
funny.
really.
I did laugh that Beerus was like, "Wow, you fed me fish food." It's just I was
Yeah, as
like,
a
okay,
cat, that
yeah,
is that is funny. But then after that, you get to stretching, and then you get the panels of the Goku and Vegeta sparring session from the movie. Same rules apply. No transformations, no beam blast, and I saw some people on social media saying, "Oh, it would have been better, if they would have transformed all this stuff." And we said this when the movie came out. And again, listen to our previous stuff. We know what we're talking about. The real reason they did not transform is because the movie was not about them, and those were not the toys they were trying to sell. It is that
yep,
simple.
that's correct. Yep. I'm also happy that Goku is drawn better in the manga than he was in the movie
Mm-hmm.
because I believe I have stated this on the L7C, but if not, I guess here I go again. So that scene where right before Goku and Vegeta fight, and Vegeta's up in the tree and
Yeah.
Goku's on the ground, they're looking at each other. Goku is like drawn like disproportionately.
Mm-hmm.
Like he has a huge chest, like significantly larger torso and chest compared to head. Like like bodybuilders, like Arnold back in the
Mm-hmm.
days, like he was known for having that wide chest. It made him great, but that is what we knew of what Arnold was supposed to look like. Goku does not look like that. Like he like it was just funny. It looked it
It's
looked silly, but now Goku looks the form. He looks slimmed down and proportionate. So
yeah.
I'm glad
And
they fixed it.
yeah, then again, just to confirm again that people didn't know back then when we said it, this is post Moro arc and Granola arc, Goku and Vegeta in their bases. So just again confirming that. And they're going at it just like the movie. I was pleasantly surprised in the movie that this sparring thing was happening, and to the extent that it did. And it looks really good drawn. It looks really good.
Especially Vegeta.
Mm-hmm.
Vegeta Vegeta is really taking Goku by surprise, and yeah, I mean, it makes sense that Vegeta's going to, win the fight here at the end, but he's making Goku look silly.
Yeah. And same stuff stayed the same. Vegeta's moves is from Beerus saying he's changed ever so slightly. Talking about the mental stuff, Broly watching, and then you got them going to go get some ice cream. And they go get the ice cream because Beerus says it's going to take a while. All stuff. The fight continues, and they have that whirlpool. Yeah, would that be right? Whirlpool in the water, and Beerus puts the little berry up to protect Chile in there, while Broly's just out there casually, just almost, the water. And Broly's a big dude, even sitting down, covering half his body, and he's just watching, learning, and he's in amazement, and he's smiling during it. So that is cool. We will see what happens with Broly after when this arc is over. So you go back to Earth. Shenlong in this come forth. Piccolo makes his wish. This was the only thing I was going to push back on the sensu bean thing, because now we're at the point where people can just wish for their powers. So why the hell would you not have sensu beans?
Hmm.
Like, and then Shenron says it's an evil. I mean, an easy thing to do. And then Bulma has a wish there. Uh, Booty, baby, basically a BBL in Omega 100% form that I mean, it's the greatest BBL you can get because nothing can go wrong because it's coming from a magical dragon. A
Yeah.
simple matter, and then with the lashes and all that stuff. So here, before we go to the next part, this is where I'm like, anyone, anyone who ever says that Dragon Ball GT never paid attention to the entire series is an idiot. Because this would, God, I wish the Shadow Dragons are next, man, before Frieza. I really do.
Oh yeah. Bulma needs to be punished for all that bullshit. Like,
Yes, and the like the repercussion. Because I mean, let's just outside of Goku, she's the most important person in the series. She basically kicks off the whole series because she finds Goku. So
yep.
there has to be repercussions for these like wishes. Like that's why the Shadow Dragon story and how GT ended was so great because you thought you were doing these things with you thought you can have these magical things with no punishment. Nah, man, there's got to be punishment. And the
You
fact
know,
you've been doing this for years, no, there's got to be punishment.
Bulma's wishes kind of take away from the dragon, for
Mm-hmm.
me at least. Like, it just irks me because it's like when a dragon like gets brought back or gets brought out, like, you get your most memorable moments. You get, when they brought everyone back
Mm-hmm.
after the Saiyan saga, or when Goku made his epic return, or when the dragons then brought everyone back from Namek and they teleported them. Like they were like integrated, like truly, truly integrated into the story. And they weren't just, oh, bad guy did this, time to fix city and wipe everyone's mind. And or even back in the day after when King Piccolo made a wish to restore his youth, and
Mm-hmm.
then he kills the dragon. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I actually kind of wish that was referenced here because I wish Shenron, whenever he was like, "Oh, Master Piccolo, uh, don't blast me again," like I wish there was a sort of like paying like respect to that, for example, because that's essentially what this has happened twice. This has happened twice. Piccolo has asked the dragon for a power up. Now, granted, the first one was asking for his youth back, and this one is actually a power up. But here I go again, saying that this is all copy and pasted. I didn't think of this shit during the movie, but that's what it is now. But anyways, but
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just when she's making it's weird too because I mean she's the smartest person on the planet. She's the richest person on the planet, and I do see I do get that it's like all right, I'm gonna be the one with the Dragon Balls to make sure.
yeah, no one can
No,
use them.
I 100% agree with that, and it's like
Especially with all of Frieza's henchmen doing their shit to bring Frieza back. Yeah, if I was Bulma and I knew where all these were, I would, you know, I
and
would lock them up.
then spoilers, obviously, for the people who've watched the movie. But if you haven't watched the movies, spoilers. And then especially when you get Gamma One in the fold, Gamma One being like the security for the Dragon Balls, I like that. Get like because obviously he's strong enough to hold his own against most people.
Yeah,
But it's just we're using these wishes like that, and I was like, I truly don't remember a meaningful wish except for like the end of Z, where they had the plan to kill Boo by bringing everyone back and doing the spirit bomb. Like I don't remember a memorable wish that meant something that wasn't someone getting their power or I guess it's a dragon.
yeah,
So it's a
yeah,
DBL dragon butt lift. So
yeah. Like I think Frieza's wish was probably the best wish from the dragon.
and I was
I'm
pissed
trying to.
about that when it came out because I'm like, why the hell are we bringing back Frieza? I was I was mad because I'm like, really?
I mean, they did use the dragon to restore Goku's power against Kid Buu.
Yeah, that
Um,
was that whole I put that as part of the Kid Buu plan.
the beginning of Super had, the dragon also explaining the Super Saiyan God transformation, which is worthless nowadays.
Do they see? I don't even.
Brought back
I don't like that.
Frieza.
I think they could have got that from. I'm surprised, like Elder Kai did. Elder Kai knew everything else about these damn Saiyans and didn't know. Like they could have got that from him. They didn't need to bring the dragon for that.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think that might be like the best like wish. Like since then, yeah, the best use of the dragon is what I meant back with Frieza. But
Yeah, but I don't know.
now I don't have in terms of like the idea. I have, and I know I stated this on the previous podcast, probably when we did the movie review.
Mhm.
In terms of like Piccolo asking the dragon for a power boost, like I'm cool with that. Whereas like Granola asking that dragon for a power boost was kind of more of a stretch for me.
Mhm.
I'm glad though that like that you get what I'm saying because it's a Namekian asking the dragons that they create. Like that just seems logical. Whereas with Granola, he's just a random schmuck who came across the dragon and then wished to be the strongest. Now again, the wishes are different. One's just bring out my potential. Then what's Granola's? Granola's is take all of my potential and front load it and shorten my life. Like
Yeah, so I could
it's
be the strongest in the
kind
universe.
of goofy because like, oh wait, was that all of Granola's potential or like? Well, granted, it lowered his life, so I guess that's fine too. But no, I'm. It almost seems more natural for Piccolo to do what he did.
Yeah, no, I agree. And then they had the spot too where they're like, "Dang, we could have used the third wish to bring Goku and Vegeta back here." And then you say it after. I was like, "Come on, guys!" But this part was new. This was not in the movie. Trunks seeing Piccolo come to Bulma's house, and then obviously inferring was like, "Well, Piccolo's not someone who just drops by. Something big's going down." That was new.
I'm glad they did that because they connected it with the filler
Hmm.
arc with him and Trunks, so it just helps tie the movie and that arc together into this manga. So yeah, I mean, it's only like a page and a half. It's not even it it, it doesn't even take up a full page, to be honest with you. And I mean, I'm glad they did it. They they are yeah, they're conscious of like what they were trying to do there. So gotta give them props whenever they actually do something correct.
Yeah, and then goes back to the movie. They're talking about trying to find Goku, Vegeta. They can't find them. Talking about I want to take out one of the head honchos before we start plotting, and then they're like, oh, why don't we just take out Gohan? He's the one who took out Cell as a kid, and if we let him stay around longer, it could be a problem. And then you go into the whole kidnapping Pan situation, and that's really how this chapter ends. We're gonna end at the kidnapping scene. Well, about to be the kidnapping scene.
Is Dr. Hito stupid?
Why do you say that?
I just ponder because like he's, arguably the most brilliant person on the planet,
Mhm.
but he just can't see through the lies of the Red Ribbon Army. Like, like stop. How do you not know that these guys are evil as shit? Like, even though he acknowledges whether or not like Gohan is an enemy, kidnapping a child is one of the worst things that you can do. Like he says that, you know, but he still works for these guys. And look at him. One dude looks like freaking Hitler. He's got a stash, and they know what Hitler is. Okay, they don't know what Hitler is, but probably, but technically Hitler was in this franchise during the movie with Janempa.
Yes.
It, it, Goten and Trunks blasted the shit out of Hitler. So it's like maybe Hitler has been around here before. The guy looks like him. His henchman looks like a Johnny Bravo a-hole, and they're trying to
I
kidnap kids. Like,
also I think it's weird because this is the first time where, well, they know what, because they know the true story. Because, when Piccolo's like, that's Hercule's granddaughter, other enemies on Earth will be like, holy shit, we can't go after Hercule's granddaughter because, that's Hercule, the world champ. But obviously, they don't mention anything of that, which I found funny because, typically it's like, you don't want to do anything to get around Mr. Satan.
Yeah.
But they go on their trip and then they're going to Pan's school, and that is that. You want to talk about idiots? Does Piccolo only have 3 phone numbers in his phone?
Yeah, just Gohan, Videl,
And Bulma?
and Bulma.
Like, this is going to piss me off too, which they might explain in later chapters. I'll give them credit, but still, made no sense that 17, like, why was 17 not called?
Oh, yeah, why is Piccolo not called the androids? Or
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, why he why has he not told Krillin in 18?
Also, to even add to that, you asked Dende if he knew what was going on, and he said yes. Why did you not tell Dende to telepathically communicate the warriors on Earth?
Yeah, why did Dende not automatically reach out to people?
Yeah,
Like he is the guardian of the planet and he knows that shit is going down, yet he's as worthless as freaking Korin.
yeah. I was just
That
thinking about the
is
rereading.
that
I'm
a
like,
tower of uselessness? Is that what the lookout is?
in
Just
theory, now, yes, you could say that because we already talked about Corn. I just brought up the Dende thing. The biggest thing that used to be, I mean, the hyperbolic time chamber, but now you can just go to Whis' place, and now they go to Whis to train Goku and Vegeta, and they have the gravity room. Goku could teleport to King Kaizen trains if he wants to, and now Frieza shown and mirrors. The hyperbolic chamber is not even the only one in the universe. There's just random ones on random rocks.
what is the point of the lookout now? What is the
So
point
I
of the
don't. We're
guardian of
asking.
the
I don't think
earth?
anyone's been asking now. We're the ones asking.
I mean, the fact that hasn't told anybody and Piccolo had to approach him and then he admits that he knew. I mean, yeah, I get it. I here, here's why Dende didn't do it. Dende never had a manager to teach him.
But
I mean, he
He told Goku about Oob. Like, what the hell?
think about it, bro. Think about it. Dende is like the epitome of a person. I know he didn't actually apply for it, but think of it this way. Dende was that person who lied on their resume and got the manager role.
I don't even know. Goku did just swoop dude up from the planet and brought him.
And
Like, he
and
really did just go
no
there.
one taught him. Don't tell me Mr. Popo taught him because Mr. Popo apparently hasn't done a damn thing.
No, that's true. But I'm just thinking about, like, and then you get to the point. So Dende got brought right because Piccolo fused with Kami Soul's Cell Game. So you've had almost 10 arcs since then. Almost. Majin Buu, Beerus Saga, Tournament, Universe 647, Goku Black, Tournament of Power, Broly, Moro, Gas. That's almost what, 10 arcs? Like 8? That's a lot,
And
man. You gotta
and
learn on the job. And it's like,
most okay. Here's the thing too. He got hit the job at the end of Cell,
yeah,
right? He had 7 years of no issues.
that's true.
Like that is the perfect time to learn a little bit about your job, and then bam, you get thrown right into the mix of everything bad that happened with Majin Buu. All right, time to show what you can do. Um, and and he lived through all of that.
Mhm.
Remember, he didn't die. He got away,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, he got away. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm like, wait, Dende and Hercule got saved.
Technically, because this isn't GT, Hercule has never died. Yeah, he has that.
Correct.
Yeah. I was gonna say Dende didn't, but Frieza killed him. He killed
Yeah,
him. Yeah, because I
yeah,
had to think back. Yeah.
he got blasted. But like, so then Beerus comes and he almost wipes out the planet. Not really much Dende could do there, but he could at least, I don't know, post up and try to be the guardian of the universe. Frieza returns. Moro's on the planet. Uh, I guess he didn't know about Gas, but Gas wasn't there. Oh well. But it's like a shitty fucking guardian.
Yeah.
Those people pray to that man.
I know. But now for listening, again, another first time. If you listen to a whole bunch of Dragon Ball stuff, I'm pretty sure we're the first people. Is like, what is the purpose of the lookout now? It's not the same. They don't even meet there for their Dragon Team meetings. They meet at Bulma's place.
Yeah, Bulma is the lookout.
She pretty much is. Yes.
I mean, then they created the Dragon Balls, and he doesn't even have them there.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad.
The guy that gave he gave Shenron these multiple upgrades,
Just
and
for
he
Bulma to
knows
get a
people.
Brazilian butt lift.
Yep,
I'm
and
surprised
he's
he
cool
hasn't.
with it. He's
Yeah,
cool.
that's another. I'm telling you, man, Shadow Dragons need to happen. It's the only way to rectify it.
They need to be here ASAP.
So, and then they're going to go for Pan, and that ends the chapter. So, pretty much next chapter, we're probably going to be at the fight at the Red Ribbon base.
Yep.
Yeah. So this wasn't too much longer. So we saw some of the changes a little bit that we talked about last month. And Mitch, you brought up a point before recording about how some of the dialogue is changing. How far in advance do
Oh,
we
so
think
so
Dragon Ball plans?
so for all the listeners, all right, take this thought experiment. I said this to Martin at lunchtime today. Okay, let's say Wonder Woman's lasso of truth. Let's say that was a real thing, all right? And you had it in your hands, and you were able to throw that lasso over everybody who had creative control or input or knowledge over the future of this franchise. All right.
Mhm.
And you did that right today. And you could ask them this question. Do you know how this series will go forward? Or I specifically said to Martin, how Black Frieza will be defeated and by who? Do
Yeah.
you know that answer?
And I joked, I said, you put that rope on people, and most of them forgot who Black Frieza even is.
Yep. It very well might. Now, granted, Vegeta did mention Frieza,
Hmm.
but that could have been just Caleb Cook remembering to add it in the translation for all I know. I didn't read this shit in Japanese. But no, it's do you think they know that answer? Because I I don't I don't think they do. They don't show me um that like they don't give me enough to be confident in that they actually would know that. It's just this is all Super has been. It's kind of just seems like it's just impromptu writing. It's just what can I think of now to pump out and earn a paycheck? Because there's just so much shit that contradicts itself or makes us think about things, or we don't get clarification on other stuff, or we just get confused by what they're trying to say. And but we love it. It's funny. We love this confusion. It's real weird. But like I think they might have like an idea as to how they like might want to do the next arc, but I don't think it doesn't seem like they would know how it would end.
No, I don't think so either. And they'll tell you that we have all this stuff played in advance.
Yeah,
I
we have
call
all the
bull.
storyboards. Yeah, we have a whole. Yeah, okay. No, you don't. So you
So,
probably wrote it on a little piece of paper for like no, or maybe you tweeted on one of your burner accounts just so that Time Hop can bring it back into your brain later.
no, it's wild, man. It's a really good point. On a topic of Dragon Ball Super, though, just catch up with some things that have happened. before recording. So off of Toei's latest report, this was reported by DBS Hype, everyone chronicles everybody. DBS Superhero has earned 13.3 billion yen worldwide, surpassing Dragon Ball Super Broly's 13.5 billion yen worldwide, making it the number one Dragon Ball movie. I won't say too much on that. Just back to what I said when the movie came out, when it was the number one movie in the country with no promotion.
Yep.
Now it's just amazing. And it's amazing because it's that double-edged sword of, we say it a billion times, this Dragon Ball fandom is not a fandom, it's a freaking culture. And the fact that a non-promoted movie stomps Idris Elba's Beast opening weekend and is now the number one like movie for Dragon Ball with no promotion, it's amazing. And
Yep.
then on the flip side, what the fuck was Toei doing? If you promoted that, you could have made major money. I mean, they made money, but like we're talking like MCU low, like MCU money, like Demon Slayer did.
Yeah, they could have like I think Dragon Ball has like a Dragon Ball movie with great like promotion and just a decent backing should be able, I would think, should be able to compete with a like a in terms of box office like a lower end MCU movie.
I was like low, like an Iron, like they can make more than Iron Man one. Like that's what I'm
In
trying to think.
today's age, I would
Yeah,
think they should.
yeah, yeah. Like if you have all this stuff, because this is ridiculous. Like because I know we laugh about it anytime we bring about Otis L was really out here pleading for people to go see his movie, that Beast movie. And it's like, well, you lost a Beast, go on, buddy.
Yeah.
So that's just crazy, man. I just can't believe it. And then it's one of those things too where it's like the money keeps towing in. So Toei's like, oh, we're doing something right. And it's like, nah, man, your fans carry the whole fandom and you reward them being shitty.
I'm trying to see here real quick if I can find the box office. Like what's the smallest box office amount for an MCU movie?
I would feel it'd have to be something in part one. It'd be the part ones. I would feel like it's a part one movie.
Hmm. I feel as though this I think I'm looking at the domestic numbers, not the worldwide. So, yep. So what I'm looking at is domestic. Spider-Man No Way Home and Black Panther made more than Infinity War domestically?
Mm-hmm.
Huh, good for them. All right. Scroll all the way down. Uh, okay, these are re-releases. At the very bottom here, I ain't gonna worry about that. At number 32, The Incredible Hulk, domestically, 134 million.
They could beat that. They
Do you
could
think
beat that.
domestically they could?
Yeah.
Worldwide, I think
Oh,
that their numbers
worldwide, that's
already higher than that.
yeah. Worldwide, they beat that easy.
All right, so then okay, here's the movies under 200: Black Widow, Thor 1, Ant-Man, Captain America 1, Eternals, Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, I think they could. I mean, I think they could beat the. I think they could beat some of those worldwide. I'm just again, I'm basing. Demon Slayer made $500 million worldwide, and seeing an anime movie do that, and they don't even have near the fandom that Dragon Ball has, but they had a
Yeah.
great story and they promote it. Like if they could do 500 million, and I love that series. Dragon Ball, if everything goes right, can do 500 million worldwide.
Yep. They
Like
can make a ton more money. Yep.
and just going off to another thing from Dragon Ball, because this is just crazy that it was just recent on May 9th, Dragon Ball FighterZ, the competitive fighting game, and Xenoverse 2 both exceeded 10 million copies in sales. This 10 million copies a piece. That is 20 million copies for two Dragon Ball games that have both been out forever.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. You don't see any other anime game selling Dragon Ball. Like, people don't like Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 has been out like that's a whole presidential term. Like that's two presidential terms ago.
Hmm.
So I the money's raking in and we're already I mean, next time we'll be back is June and it's halfway through the year, man, and this Dragon Ball web anime was supposed to come out this I mean, there's a half year left, but now there's a half year gone. This anime is supposed to come back, something's supposed to be announced, blah blah blah, and nothing.
Nothing. Zippo.
And some of those people on the people who are standing by that web, they're standing by it. That's happening. I'm like, I don't know why you do that to yourself because if you're wrong, your credibility goes down.
That's the thing. Like I actually looked back at Geekdom whenever he said that
In 2019.
no, what was he? He said that the manga is not going to go. They're not going to show like a proper form like Gotenks. Well, he
Mhm.
either said a proper form Gotenks or like all of the messed up versions.
Yes.
And I was just like, and he was like, it's a guarantee. I'm like, whether or not it's true, like why why do you put like yourself such to like why do you glue your feet to the ground? Why do you put your feet in wet cement and then toss yourself into the Hudson? Like there's no need to, and you just
Chronicles
lose your
is doing that.
credibility.
Chronicles is doing that a lot too.
I just I feel like Chronicles is actually fighting a lot of people. I see him
Yes.
getting
Yes.
into a lot of arguments with people, and I'm like, bro, just chill out, bro. It's just
Like he and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna back off of the thing." And then I saw two times later, I'm like, "Oh no, it's that web thing is happening." And when it happens, it's I'm like, "Okay, all right." I mean, we'll
you
see.
think we'll ever fight with people? Or we'll put predictions on there and then just argue with people on Twitter. The L7C will just become full of assholes like they are.
No, I mean,
Nah,
shout out,
because
shout
we're
out to
awesome.
shout out to JJ having a whiteboard of all of our wrongs. So I think that keeps us in now knowing that there are some fans who actually keep up if we're right or wrong. But I don't know. We just don't go on.
Nah, JJ's about to get blocked.
Shout out to JJ, but
I can't
I
be
just
having
don't
this.
think I don't think we make predictions like that. Also, I mean, we're not. I mean, they're like talking about sources and all that. We're just like, let's just wait till what comes out and then we react to it.
I feel like I also do give predictions, but I also openly admit that I'm stupid, I feel like. So it's like you can't get me for being wrong whenever I already admit that I'm an idiot. So you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like
and
they don't.
I think too for
Take
the
that, JJ.
I think for the people too who say like, oh, it's like, oh yeah, I told you it's back, and then if it does come back, it's like, yeah, I told you it'll come back. It's like, yeah, but dude, you've been saying that for 5 years. Like that to me, I'm like, you can't say like, oh, I told you it was coming back, but it's been 5 years. Like I nah. If you said it was going to come back a year and it didn't, all right, it didn't come out that year. You made a mistake. Things happened. We just wait. And no leaker, I don't care who it is, unless it is from the official Dragon Ball team and Toritaro, who also just had his 45th birthday, until it's from officially them, I won't believe it. I won't believe anyone until it's officially comes from them.
Yeah.
So it's really where we're at here. Mitch, anything else?
Nope. I can't think of anything else.
No. So we will see. Who knows? We might be recording this and then tomorrow. I know everyone was so disappointed on the quote unquote Goku Day. They're like, oh, Goku Day's out. This is the time. This is where they're going to announce the new. This is it, baby. And what did we get? They just got an announcement that Goku Black's going to be in Fortnite. I'm like, why do you guys get your hopes up like this?
Man, Fortnite's putting out more Dragon Ball content than what the anime is doing.
They are. They are. Everyone is. Everyone is. The games are. Like the games keep people going. I mean, Xenoverse just added that's we're retelling the superhero thing in the manga. And if you just want to get an alternate version, because Xenoverse has like the movie version and like their own time difference, you can just go play the game. You don't
Yep.
have to wait for the manga, just go play the game.
I swear, if I see Moro's voice actor
I'm telling you, it's coming. Now
before,
that is something I might because that's how I knew who Jiren's English voice actor was from the game.
but we already had the anime.
That's true. That's true.
So
But
like now granted that would be a good sign though if you got the a voice actor for Moro in a game, then it's almost certain that the anime is coming back probably soon because you're not just going to hire someone just to you know voice a game and not have the production of the anime going at the same time.
or I mean, I know we brought it up last week because last month when we found out was the reason besides COVID stuff being pushed back just because they had all the voice actors working on Tenkaichi 4.
Yep.
So I don't know, man. I don't think we'll get to that point on that, but I think we take our time on some of the stuff. Like we haven't even had no one's like openly said our strongest in Dragon Ball episode, which you should go listen to on YouTube or any social podcast stuff. We haven't had anyone say, "Oh, you guys are stupid. This is how it should have been ranked." We had none of those. So,
Yep.
but we'll see, guys. Maybe Memorial Day weekend. Something happens and the manga's back. I mean, not the manga, the anime's back, or maybe they're just waiting. Who knows? But how long can you wait? But well, we've been waiting years. But how long can you wait and just be like, hey, they will announce it. Stop trying to. Everyone in Dragon Ball, I mean, it's the same. It's the TMZ effect. Everyone wants to be first.
Yep.
That's all it is. Everyone wants to be first, and that's the problem. But I mean, we love talking about it. I would say with the L7C podcast, especially since that strongest in Dragon Ball episode, we've gotten very creative with our anime stuff. And if the manga like randomly stopped today and went on a like 3-month hiatus, me and Mitch can come out still with like 6 million different Dragon Ball topics that could last us years.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it is. But with that being said, thank you everyone for listening to the L7C podcast. Make sure again, check out the anime draft. It was a lot of fun. You get to see there's eight of like the 11, 12 people on the L7C. Anyone who's ever watched anime on the L7C was in there. And I mean everyone. So check that out. And we will be back next month with some cool stuff. And we will see what's different in the manga compared to the movie.
Vote for my team, the best anime team.
Yeah,
Thank you. Appreciate you.
There are polls there on the YouTube. Vote for Mitch's team. You can vote for Mitch's team, or you can vote for Byron's, Cedric's, Andrea's, Nikki's, the Smiths, or you can even vote for the moderator's team. I'm on there as well, and we're gonna have a whole bunch of conversations. I was even off recording asking Mitch. I was like, how would a waiver wire order? What's the waiver wire order go? So to really make this something, but. Thank you again for listening to the L7C podcast. Signing out. Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.